Okay, French school explained. So, this is a chart that I made to kind of go through and talk about the different levels of French school and how they labeled those schools because it is very different. So, what is also super different is all of these levels that are in this chart are universal. So, what that means when we talk about universal school is that it is required up until college, and it is free. Okay, it is free. So in the United States, K through 12 is free, right? Kindergarten through 12th grade. That free school in France starts with école maternelle, which is preschool. So we would like in my son's preschool, it's like there's a 3-year-old room, a 3.5-year-old room, a 4-year-old room. They kind of group them by age. It's the same in France. École maternelle starts with la petite section, the little section, which they shorten to PS for 3-year-olds. Then we have la moyenne section, the middle section, which they shorten to MS for 4-year-olds. And then we finally have la grande section, the big section for 5-year-olds. That's another difference. So preschool is still through age 5. So in America, or at least in Kentucky, you start kindergarten at 5. In France, you don't start until 6. Okay, so then we have l'école primaire, which is primary school, elementary school. So they don't call those by grade levels. We go first, second, third. They start these. So we have cours préparatoire. It's kind of like your prep course for 6-year-olds. So this is called CP. Then we have, so that's like kindergarten. We have cours alimentaire premier. So when they say premier, it means first, but that was the equivalent of our second grade. So this is elementary course first level. So they shorten that. They call it CI1, CE1. That's for 7-year-olds. Cours alimentaire deuxième. So this is the second level of elementary course. They call it CE2. It's for 8-year-olds. Our equivalent is third grade. Then we move up from the primary to the middle. So this is kind of like in your elementary school, you may have had like a primary and intermediate section in the school. So 4th and 5th grade is that intermediate. Same in French. So instead of cours alimentaire, we call it cours moyen. Cours moyen. Première année. So CM1, CM1 is 4th grade. CM2, cours moyen, deuxième année, second year, is 10-year-old is the equivalent of 5th grade. All right, and here's where it gets a little bit tricky because we have a false cognate. So here we have le collège. Le collège. That does not mean college. It means middle school. Okay? And this is where the counting gets fun. So we're still counting up. We go from 6 all the way up to 12. This is where French school starts counting down. So what we would call 6th grade, they call sixième, 6th. Okay? But what that means is that you are now 6 years away from graduating. So what we call 7th grade, they call cinquième, 5th, which means you are now 5 years away from graduating, so on and so forth. So 8th grade would be quatrième, 4th, because you are 4 years away from graduating. And then notice here too that collège, middle school, is 4 years. It used to be this way in Kentucky where middle school was 6 through 9 and high school was 10 through 12. And then we moved the freshmen up. But in France, it is still 6 through 9 is collège, middle school. And then we have troisième, third is for 9th grade because now you have 3 years left after this. And then we have lycée. Lycée is our high school. So 10th grade, we would call la seconde. La seconde. So you are 2 years away from graduating. La première would be 11th grade. You are 1 year away from graduating. And then we have our final grade, which we call 12th grade. They call la terminale, which literally means the end. Terminale, the end. Okay? And then at the end of high school, you take a test. You take a test called le baccalauréat. It's commonly referred to as le bac. Le bac. Okay? And there are 3 different categories for le bac. We have le bac professionnel, le bac technologique, et le bac général. And you take one of those tests based on what track you were in college. So not only do you have to pass your classes to graduate high school, to graduate lycée, but you also have to pass this bac, the test, to kind of certify that you have actually learned all that you've said you've learned. And so the bac serves 2 purposes. One is like that graduation requirement. You've learned all these things. 2, if you get high enough scores, it's also your entrance exam into université, into college, what we call college, which is university. Okay? So that test, your scores help you determine which college you're going to go to. So, which one do you take? If you really have no idea, you kind of took a general track, a little bit of science, a little bit of math, a little bit of literature, a little bit of art, then you are probably going to take le bac général. Okay? And that is a very wide range of careers that you could go into from that. Le bac technologique is for your STEM type track. So if you were really into science or math or any type of technology, engineering, then you would have taken le bac technologique. And then le bac professionnel is kind of like your business, teaching, anything, any professional career that you would need a degree for that is not science and math related. Okay. And then those help not only determine what college you're going to, but what track you're going to go to in college. So say you applied to like the French equivalent of MIT, a math and science technology school. You have a much better chance of getting into that if you took le bac technologique instead of le bac général. Okay, so here's the big difference that everybody always gets really excited about. L'université. In America, college is expensive. I'm 32 now, and I'm still paying for my college that I graduated 9 years ago. In France, college is free. It is free, 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 free. $0. Okay, $0. You just pay for like your living expenses. That's it. Okay, just like you would as a normal adult. But tuition, free. Who wants to move to France?